Hi, I'm Pete Jefferson. I'm glad you found our place today. It's been a journey of some difficulty to come to the point where I feel I must state my thoughts about God and religion in a video that is sure to upset most of my friends. I don't think anything but good about these folks. They're all great people who live good lives to the standard Christian or perhaps better say religious tradition. I don't bring up religion with them as the conversation isn't going to do anything but create a divide where one didn't exist before. What is it that creates hostility between folks who don't share beliefs? What's wrong with live and let live? Why should a friendly relationship be ruined because of different beliefs? Craziness at its best showed up in a picture I saw recently on Facebook. A gentleman had a t-shirt on that on the back of it said, "If you don't belong to somebody's Baptist church, you ain't shit." What an advertisement for peace, love, and brotherhood. Facebook has created a medium that gives everyone a voice of sorts. Now instead of being lost in silence as with Neil Diamond's song, "I Am, I Said," to no one there and no one heard it all. We can get lost in a sea of noise with what we call a page on Facebook or the new Google+. We can chit-chat with friends, look up old friends and try to figure out why old friends suddenly make their pages private right after you send a friend request. That's happened to me a couple of times. I guess they weren't real friends at all. But that's another story. People, including myself, spend way too much time building a profile detailing our lives, and so there's a record of what we have done in life. It is fun and gives the user a wonderful insight into the lives and the backgrounds of people you would never find in yesterday's environment. It has changed the way we communicate with others. It has also brought out people who, in my humble opinion, have spent way too much time wearing their religious beliefs on their sleeve. All that praising of God and preaching drives me nuts. When a good friend wrote something on his page last week asking if he came today, would you walk with him, or something to that effect, I had to shut off my computer to keep from writing back, "He ain't coming." All that brings me to the place to explain my views on God and religion. And it is being presented on another great medium which has evolved on the internet, YouTube. To begin our journey down this road, let's start with a premise that sure to generate mail, then that is that organized religion and belief in God or a creator are two different things. Organized religion is about power and money. God is about the spiritual world that is part of the universe and possibly the most powerful of the unseen energies. The coolest phrase that I've heard recently is that God is the mind of the universe. We live in an unimaginably huge universe that may only be part of an unimaginably huge number of other universes. There are a couple of theories on how it came about. One is that a tiny, very tiny ball of energy exploded. The Big Bang theory, that's called, and that explosion created the seeds that formed all that there is. Another theory is the universe has always been here and always will be here. That's the steady state theory, and that's kind of losing ground lately. I can imagine most anything, and like most people can visualize the Big Bang and see the universe forming and expanding to become what it is today. However, as good as my imagination is, I can't imagine the beginning of the universe in any form. There's always something sticking around that says if there was ever a time in our universe that it didn't exist, where did that point of energy come from? if there was even a point of energy, it was there and had to come from somewhere. My mind freezes up at that point, and a little nag says that there must have been a creator involved. Then where did the creator come from? And so on. Out of that mess came stars and planets, and at some point life appeared. Life takes something special to seed the new universe. With life, you almost have to believe there was a push to get things going. We can see that the Old Testament was on target with the book of Genesis. Creation summed up in a few words that the early people could understand. Billions and millions of years brought down to days for simplicity. Stories of man's start on earth in simplest forms. Reader's Digest condensed version of history. What else can you say? Inspired, perhaps. I don't want to continue this part of the discussion as it's an old argument. The only thing I would ask you is that you watch the video called Zeitgeist. I think that's correct. Zietgeist. And get a take on organized religion that I've had most of my life. They say it best and much better than I can here. My view of God, if we can assume there is one, is that he would be the hidden energy field that is the brain behind the universe. Life is energy and is connected to that field, and we feel it when in meditation, deep sleep, prayer, or driving down the street in a car. When we leave this life, our life energy, or soul if you prefer, becomes part of that energy field. And we can call that heaven. Not everyone feels it. Some feel it all the time. Some seem to be able to draw upon the energy to create miracles and such. And no one in this world has the intellect to understand it. That would be the awe that we feel at times. It seems to be hardwired into the human psyche and has caused all sorts of problems with misinterpretations in history. Humans have fought for thousands of years over something they can't ever understand. Evidence of ghosts has been around since our beginning. People see them and at times they speak to us. That is one of the ways that the God energy could show itself. Ghosts may be the souls that hasn't completely merged with the energy yet. It can't escape our world for some reason. Entering a deep state of relaxation or meditation to raise the awareness of the higher power is another method to speak, so to speak. You can feel that energy and realize the vastness of the universe. My most vivid experience was during a deep relaxation session many years ago. I felt light along with a wonderful sense of universal awareness and power, and left my body. The life energy headed out to the planets, and I was about to leave the solar system when I suddenly realized that if I didn't return at that instant, I would never get back. That realization startled me to consciousness, and I woke up. That trip was the last of that intensity, as my subconscious mind, I think, put a stop to allowing that spiritual self to leave the body. That isn't likely to change until I take my final breath in this world. I'm not one to believe that God wakes you up and tells you to go shoot somebody or rob a bank or save someone for drowning or feed a homeless family or anything like that. Belief in God may compel you to be stupid or smart, but some little bearded man doesn't whisper in your ear. He doesn't need you to clean out your bank account and give it to a person who claims to speak for him. He'll speak for himself. We sit here in a somewhat clean modern world and people preach about God guiding them and creating wonderful things in their lives and repeating all the good feelings that they have heard, and I just want to smack them. If that were true, just God running things in this world, millions of people wouldn't be starving in Africa and parts of Asia. People wouldn't divide up into nations, into those who believe in red and those who believe in blue, and then allow each side to go in and slaughter, rape, and rob groups that don't believe the right color. We've all seen pictures of babies who won't live to their first birthday. Bodies lying in piles because they don't have the energy to dig a hole to bury them in. They've been starved and murdered, and no one cares. And the winning side always seems to claim that God is on their side. There's nothing godly in those images. Humans are mean to each other. If there were a loving God overlooking the world, he would correct some of those awful conditions. The truth is, the universe may have the powerful God energy that helped create everything, but I don't believe he sits around thinking of ways to get you and me to give him money. That is silly. If there were a creator, he got the world started and is letting things play out without interference. That's my view on things at the moment. I got a lot more to say, and as always, I won't think of it until after this video is finished and on the web. So I'll just say so long for a while, and thanks for tuning in today.